Hello, and welcome to Podcasting Problem Solver. I am Leah Bryant, your full-time podcast producer, strategist, and the founder of Leah Bryant Co., where we help entrepreneurs launch and grow podcasts that actually move the needle in their business without tech headaches or time suck. This show is where we skip the fluff and fix the podcasting problems clogging up your to-do list, like today's question. Do I really need fancy gear to start a podcast? So let me give it to you straight, because I like to keep it honest around here. Nope, you absolutely do not. So go empty your Amazon cart. But before you add that Blue Yeti to that cart, there's a little more to it than that. So here's the thing. People obsess over gear. And honestly, I get it. It's one of the first visible decisions you make, and the internet is full of mic reviews, comparison charts, and YouTubers whispering in studio setups that cost more than my first car. So naturally, you start second-guessing everything. Next thing you know, you've got 17 tabs open, an Amazon cart that could fund a small home studio, and somehow you still haven't hit record. But can I tell you something? Sometimes obsessing over gear is just fear wearing a tech lanyard. It feels productive, but it's actually just a really sneaky form of procrastination. So if you've ever caught yourself saying, "Can't launch, Leah, until I figure out my setup," or "I want to sound professional right out of the gate," well, what you might be feeling is, "I don't want to sound bad or embarrass myself." And you know what? That's real, vulnerable, and relatable. But fear doesn't drive the bus. And this is where my seamless podcast launch framework comes in. And the E is for execution. That includes gear, but not in the complicated overthink it until you quit way. We find the right mic for your space, plug it in, and move on. Because progress is greater than perfection. Let's rewind to my early days of when I first got into podcasting. I can't believe I'm going to admit this, but I will, because, hey, we all start somewhere and we grow, right? My first mic that I ever bought. Oh, gosh. Yes, you're right. You're saying it because you know. It was a Blue Yeti. It was cute. It matched my brand colors, and I was sold. It looked the part, but spoiler alert, it sounded not so great. So, you see, the Blue Yeti is a condenser mic, which means it's super sensitive. It's great for a studio, but terrible for my echoey home office, with my 7-year-old running around in a lawnmower cameo. I sounded like I was recording in a tile shower having a heart-to-heart with my own echo. It was aesthetic, but not effective. And that's the difference between content that looks good and content that connects. So, what do you actually need? Are you ready? Because we're going to simplify this for you. First up, zero budget. Yes, really. If you got a pair of wired earbuds, like the ones that came with your phone like a long time ago, you're good to go. No shame in the earbud game. Just make sure you're recording in a soft, quiet space. Think closet or bedroom or office with rugs and curtains and pillows, like anything that helps absorb that sound. Basically, channel your inner blanket fort. Remember those when we were kids? Then edit with a free tool like the platform I use and love with all my clients at LBC Riverside. Low tech? Yes. But high vibe? Absolutely. And honestly, totally doable for a test run or private podcast. So, what if you got like $100 to spend? This is the sweet spot for a beginner podcaster. You could snag a Samsung Q2U or an ATR 2100X. Both are dynamic USB mics that plug straight into your laptop. No fancy interface, no steep learning curve. Just open your software like Riverside. You can hit record and boom, you're sounding clean, professional without breaking the bank. In this setup, it's my go-to for most new podcasters. Simple, solid, and stress-free. Now, if you have more money and a bigger budget, let's say $300 plus that you have to spend for your setup. But I want to say this only if you're ready to invest that money. So if you have this budget and the commitment, the Shure MV7 is an amazing mic. It's actually what I'm using right now, and it's USB, so it's perfect. You pair it with some closed-back headphones, and they'll help you catch background noise before it becomes a problem. But let me say this louder for my perfectionist twins in the back. You do not need to start here. Gear is meant to support your message, not gatekeep it. So check out the links in the notes to visit my Amazon storefront, where I have all the essentials for every budget. Okay, let's clear something up real quick. Your room matters more than your mic. Yep, I said it. You can spend $400 on a fancy microphone and still end up sounding like you're recording in a bathroom stall if your space isn't working for you. Because here's the truth. Instead of upgrading your cart, upgrade your space. And here's how you can do that without major home renovations, okay? You could record in a small room, like I've mentioned before, closets, carpeted bedrooms, offices with fabric everywhere. You could, add rugs or pillows or curtains, anything basically that absorbs that sound, cuts down on the echo. You do want to avoid echo chambers like your tiled bathroom, open kitchen, or rooms with a ton of glass and high ceilings. Now, I will say, I am recording in a room that I probably wouldn't recommend for my clients to record in. I have 2 windows, hardwood floors, giant mirrored closet doors, and not a lot of soft surfaces in here. But the thing is the mic can also help make your room sound better. I also have some sound panels that I got off Amazon. Again, check that storefront. And you could also add those to your room in strategic places that helps create that softer space. So basically, the cozier your space sounds, the better you sound. And this is all part of the execution phase in my seamless podcast launch framework, because we make the tech easy and make it fit into your actual life. Now, let's bust a few gear myths while we're here, okay? Myth number 1, expensive mics make you sound professional. Not quite. Mic placement, your environment, and how you speak into it, those really matter more. Myth number 2, if I don't sound like NPR, I just shouldn't launch at all. And no, you don't need to sound like Ira Glass. You need to sound like you, clear, confident, and connected to your audience. Myth number 3, a pro setup equals instant credibility. Not really. People don't hit follow because your mic is expensive. They stick around because your content is valuable, your delivering is authentic, and you show up consistently. So, if you've been waiting to launch until your gear is perfect, consider this your official permission to start with what you've got. You've got something to say, so let's get it out there. Okay, so let's share a client story. One of my clients, we'll call her Sarah, kept putting off launching her podcast for like 6 months, trying to set up her perfect studio. She bought 3 mics and some interfaces and had one full-blown meltdown in a Best Buy aisle. Her words, not mine. Finally, she hit record and published a simple trailer. And you know what? She booked 2 clients from it. See, perfection didn't get her results. Progress did. You may be thinking, but Leah, why does all this matter? Well, this isn't just about gear. It's about momentum. Because when you're stuck in research mode, it feels like you're moving forward, but you're really standing still. And behind that analysis paralysis that hits us all, it's usually fear. Fear of messing up, fear of sounding awkward, fear of being judged. Your podcast doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be present. Your people don't need polished. They need you. They need your stories, your insights, your voice. That's how you build a brand. That's how your podcast turns into a lead magnet, not just another item on your to-do list. Let me leave you with this. You don't need fancy gear. This is what you do need: a message that matters, a mic that fits your space, and the guts to hit record. Start now. Start messy. Start showing up because your audience, they want to grow with you. Oh, and if you've got a podcasting problem you want help with, whether it's tech trouble, growth strategy, monetization tips, or you just want someone to confirm your intro music does, in fact, sound like you and your brand, I've got you. Click the link in the episode description to submit your question, and you can include your name or stay totally anonymous, and I just might answer it on a future episode. And if you want even more podcasting insights, behind-the-scene recs, and honest strategy talk, you'll want to be on my newsletter list. It's free, it's helpful, and it's fluff-free. I mean, we do have fun. Until next time, remember, keep it simple, keep it strategic, and remember, you don't need fancy gear. You need a plan, a mic that fits your space, and the guts to hit record. So, I'll catch you next time on the Podcasting Problem Solver. Bye for now.